All right, in this lesson, we are still talking about area, and we are also still talking about quadrilaterals, because quadrilateral is anything with 4 sides. But this time we're going to talk about the area of trapezoids. So your goal is I can find the area of a trapezoid. Now the reason why we talk about trapezoids separately from parallelograms and squares and rectangles and rhombuses is because the formula for trapezoids are much different. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you are going to want to take out your formula sheet. And the next one that you should have after square is trapezoid. And make sure that you go ahead and draw the picture. Please make sure that you label base 1 and base 2. Note that the height is from the highest point to the lowest point. It is not this slanted line, and it is not this slanted line. And then you're going to write down your formula. Now, while you do that, please pause the video, because when you come back on, I'm going to show you how to calculate the examples. Go ahead and hit pause now. Okay, now that you have unpaused the video, I'm going to show you how to calculate this example here. So your base 1 is going to be the top, and that is going to be 5 inches. Your base 2 is the bottom, and that's going to be 9 inches. And your height is going to be the highest point to the lowest point, which is 3 inches. Now, the formula is area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Okay, so let's start to put our numbers in. Area equals base 1 is 5 plus base 2 is 9 times the height 3 divided by 2. Now keep in mind order of operations. So parentheses first. Area equals 14 times 3 divided by 2. Okay, let's keep going. Multiplication. Area equals 14 times 3 is 42 divided by 2. And then last step, area equals 21. So up here, your area is going to equal 21 inches squared. Okay, always for area is inches squared. Now you may say, but we're multiplying all these together and there's 3 and so it should be cubed. Well, you're incorrect. We are adding these two, which gives you one number, and you're multiplying it times the height. So that's why it's still squared. All right, let's jump into our first example. So here is a trapezoid. So our height, and by the way, this is sideways, so make sure you think about it flipped over. So your height is 1.3 centimeters. Your base 1 is 2.8 centimeters. Your base 2 is 1.4 centimeters. Now, you may say, well, this is base 1 and this is base 2. Well, you can do it that way. It actually does not really matter because you're going to end up adding them both together in the formula anyway. So let's go ahead and set up our formula. Area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. When you are solving your problem, I need you to always write out the formula. In fact, it's going to be a question on your quiz is to write out the formula. So let's go ahead and start to plug it in. Area equals 2.8 plus 1.4 times 1.3 divided by 2. Area equals, go ahead and add up the parentheses, 2.8 plus 1.4. That's going to give you 4.2 times 1.3 divided by 2. Keep doing your order of operations. You're going to do your multiplication here. 4.2 times 1.3. That's going to be 5.46 divided by 2. And when you do that, your area is going to equal 2.73. So up here, your area equals 2.73 centimeters, again, squared to the second power. Now, all of this work that I showed here is work that I expect that you are showing as well on your quizzes, on your tests, on your sheets in class. Always, always, always. All right, let's try a second example. So your height here is going to be 8 inches. Again, from the tallest point to the lowest point. Base 1, 9 inches. Base 2, 13 inches. And now we have to find our area. And again, we need to write out our formula. Area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. So, area equals 9 plus 13 times 8 divided by 2. So, order of operations, do the parentheses first. Area equals 9 plus 13 is 22 times 8 divided by 2. Area equals, do 22 times 8 is 176 divided by 2. So your area equals 88. And up here, your final answer is 88 inches to the second power. Okay? Let's try another one. And again, if I'm moving too fast for you, you need to just go ahead and pause the video and pick up where you're ready to go. Okay, so here we have a trapezoid that's sideways also, and I just note that it's sideways so you remember that this is the height here and not a base. So your height is going to be 5 meters, base 1 is 7 meters, base 2 is 15 meters. So let's go ahead and start to calculate. Always start by writing the formula. Area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Area equals 7 plus 15 times 5 divided by 2. Area equals 7 plus 15 is going to be 22 times 5 divided by 2. Area equals 22 times 5 is 110 divided by 2. Area equals 55. And so your final answer should be 55 meters to the second power. Again, when you're filling in this formula, you need to make sure everything's in the right spot, but more importantly, you need to follow order of operations. If you don't follow order of operations, it's not going to come out correctly. Okay, go ahead and try this one, and then we will compare answers. I will work it out as well. Okay, I need you to go ahead and pause the video if you're not done yet. Okay, so if you're still watching, that means that you're done. You should have gotten that the height was 6 yards, base 1 is 4 yards, base 2 is 9 yards, and the total area, once you figure it all out, is 39 yards to the second power. Okay, let's go ahead and try the second example. Okay, please pause the video if you're not done. I want you to finish so we can compare answers. Okay, if you're still watching, that means that you are finished. So your height is 9 millimeters. Your base 1 is 10 millimeters. Your base 2 is 18 millimeters. And once you calculate it all and you follow order of operations, you should get 126 millimeters to the second power. Okay, again, anytime you are calculating area, your answer will always be to the second power. All right, let's try example number 3. You go ahead and do it. Okay, please hit pause if you are not done yet. So if you're still watching, that means that you're done. So with this one, you might have had to look at it for a second to figure out that the height was 11 inches because this is a trapezoid that's sideways. The easiest way to figure out where the bases are is find the two lines that are parallel. This line right here is parallel to this line. And again, parallel means that they'll never intersect, okay? Those are going to be your bases. So your height is 11 inches. Base 1 is 5 inches. Base 2 is 9 inches. And when you follow order of operations all the way through, you should get 77 inches squared. 77 inches to the second power. All right, let's take a look at some word problems. So with word problems, the only thing that you're going to have to do really is draw what it is saying. And then you should be able to figure it out without a problem. So, oh, Miss Oates misspelled trapezoid here. So let's write trapezoid. Okay, so first off, since I know I'm going to have a trapezoid, I'm going to draw a trapezoid. Okay. All right. A trapezoid has a base of 4 feet and another base of 8 feet and a height of 3 feet. Draw a picture of this quadrilateral. Determine the area. Okay, so it says one base is 8 feet. One base is 4 feet. And the height is 3 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. So my height is 3 feet, one base is 8 feet, the other base is 4 feet. Now remember, it doesn't make a big difference whether you put the first base into base 1 or base 2 because like I said, you're just adding them together. So we're going to go ahead and set up our formula to find the area. So area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. So area equals 8 plus 4 times 3 divided by 2. Area equals, I do the parentheses first, 12 times 3 divided by 2. So area equals 12 times 3 is 36 divided by 2. So your area equals 36 divided by 2 is 18. So your final answer is 18 feet to the second power. All right, let's try another word problem. So remember, we always need to draw it. So I'm going to set it up by drawing my trapezoid here. Let me draw it a little closer here. There we go. Okay, a trapezoid has a height of 10 meters and two bases with a height of 13 meters and 6 meters respectively. So the height of the total trapezoid is 10 meters. And it says the height of one of the bases is 13 meters and the other one is 6 meters. So let's go ahead and fill this in here. 10 meters, 13 meters, and 6 meters. All right, now we're going to go ahead and write out our formula. Area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Remember, it is always a requirement to write the formula first. The reason why is because I need to be able to see, did you write the formula wrong, or did you make a mathematical error, or what happened, okay, if you got it wrong. So area equals 13 plus 6 times 10 divided by 2. Area equals 13 plus 6 is going to be 19 times 10 divided by 2. Area equals 19 times 10 is 190 divided by 2. And area equals 190 divided by 2 is 95. So your final answer is going to be 95 meters to the second power. Okay? All right, go ahead and you try this one. Make sure that you draw the picture, and we will compare answers in just a minute. Okay, so your final answer for that one, pause if you're not done yet. Okay, so your height was 3 yards, base 1, 4 yards, base 2, 6 yards. It's okay if you had these opposite. And your area should be 15 yards to the second power. Okay, go ahead and try this last example. Make sure you draw a picture, please. Okay, if you are not done, please pause the video. All right, so your height is 8 inches. Your base 1 is 11 inches, base 2 is 5 inches. If you had these switched, that's okay. Once you calculated everything, you should have gotten an area of 64 inches to the second power, 64 inches squared. All right, so I know that that is the end of your notes, but I do have another example for you. So either flip your notes over or go to a blank sheet of paper, because I need to show you one more type of problem that you're going to have with trapezoids. Okay, so what I want you to do is draw this trapezoid for me. And I'm going to tell you that the top base is 4 feet. And I'm going to tell you that the bottom base is 9 feet. And I'm going to tell you that the height is x. And I'm going to tell you that the area of this trapezoid is 39 feet squared. Okay, so this should look a lot like what we did with parallelograms, where we are finding the missing dimension. So here's what I want you to do. Write out the formula, as always. That's how we start. Base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Now let's fill in what we have. We have that the area is 39. We have base 1 is 4. Base 2 is 9. We don't know the height, and it's divided by 2. Let's simplify this a little bit. 39 equals 4 plus 9 is 13, and then the h is with the height, divided by 2. Okay, so now what do we do in order to solve? Well, think back to our equations where we did inverse operations, okay? So here, we have to get rid of this divided by 2 first, because we need to try and isolate the variable. We're trying to get this all by itself. So the opposite of divided by 2 is times 2. And whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you do to the other. So times 2. Okay? Divided by and multiply cancel. And you're left with 13h on that side. Now over here, 39 times 2 is going to give you 78. And now you're down to a one-step equation. Okay? Box your variable and divide by the number that's attached to it, which is 13, and you do it to both sides. These 13s cancel, and you're left with h, and then 78 divided by 13 is going to give you 6. So your final answer is that the height equals 6 feet. Now, what's nice about the missing dimensions is that you can actually check your work to make sure that you had the right answer. So what you need to do is plug it all back into the problem without the area. So area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Pretend you don't have the area. Area equals 9 plus 4. Is that what it was? Yep, 9 plus 4 times your height is 6 divided by 2. Area equals 9 plus 4 is 13 times 6 divided by 2. Area equals 13 times 6 is 78 divided by 2. And 78 divided by 2 is 39. And so if you got 39, double check it with what you got. Up here, what you were given, area equals 39, it all works out and you are good to go. Okay? I do want to show you one more example. Go ahead and draw a trapezoid. Okay? And let me look up some numbers here. So go ahead and call the height is going to be 6 centimeters. This base right here is going to be 5 centimeters. This base is going to be your x. And your area, give me 1 second. Your area is going to be 48 centimeters squared. So start with your formula. Area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. So plug it out. Plug in what you have. Okay, so you have 48 equals 5 plus base 2, we don't know, times the height is 6 divided by 2. So let's simplify. 48 equals 5 plus the second base what is, keep that guy in parentheses, what is 6 divided by 2? 3. Okay, now we need to get rid of this 3. It's being multiplied. Okay, so what's the opposite of multiplication? Divide by 3. Whatever you do to the one side, do it to the other. Okay, so the multiplication and the division cancel out. 48 divided by 3 is going to give you 16 equals 5 plus the b, the second base. Now you have a one-step equation. Box your variable. This is plus 5. Do minus 5, minus 5. These cancel out, and you're left with the second base is 11. And so base 2 equals 11 centimeters. And again, just like you did in the last problem, I want you to check it. Okay? Area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Pretend you don't know the area. Area equals, what was the base? 5 plus 11 times the height was 6 divided by 2. So area equals 5 plus 11 is 16 times 6 divided by 2. Area equals 16 times 6 is going to be 96 divided by 2. And 96 divided by 2 should be 48. And if we go back up and we check, our original area was 48. All right, now I promise that is the end of this lesson. Make sure that you take this slowly and that you ask any questions if you have them. Rewind if you need to go back and rewind, and I can work through more practice problems with you in class.